Yeah, man! Hello, my name is Miguel and today I'm gonna make for you ginger roots wine. You're gonna need ginger, mace, dried fruits. I'm using raisins, yeast, sugar. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. Put 8 cups water to boil. Leave the lid off. If ginger is as dirty as this, give it a proper wash. And it's best if you do this part under running water. Get between the grooves. If you have to break the ginger apart, do so. That's what I am doing. Get a fresh bowl of water. Put the pre-washed ginger in the water. Sprinkle several drops of distilled white vinegar in the water. Ensure that ginger is washed and clean properly. Use the small brush. Rub the side of the ginger, removing dirt. Ensure to remove the dirt that is stuck on the ginger root. It is important that the ginger is clean before you use it to make wine. Although using 2-ounce ginger made this wine delicious, you could use more ginger up to double the amount and the wine will still be fine. After that, give ginger root a final rinse. It's best if you do this part under fresh running water. Mace is that red looking mesh that is on the nutmeg's shell. Some might have this golden color. To get the amount of mace that we need, remove the mace off 12 between 15 nutmegs shells. That's what I'm doing. Support the chef. Visit his online stores. The product you will purchase was designed by him. This is mace up close. Put it aside for later. The best container to brew or set wine is in a big clear plastic container, like a bucket. You know those big clear white buckets? That's best. Ensure the bucket has a lid that can close properly. I don't have that, so I'm using this big stainless steel bowl with a lid. Next, get a clean chopping board ready. I'm using a chopping mat. Now, mash ginger. Put ginger on a hard surface. Use something that is clean and strong enough to mash it. Mash ginger. See? That's what I'm doing. I am using the bottom of this small saucepan or pot to mash cleaned ginger root. Put mashed ginger into the bowl. Next, put mace into the bowl. Add dried fruits into the bowl. To purchase dried fruits could be expensive. Dried raisins does work. I'm using dried raisins, and this is not even the expensive type. This is bulk raisins. Whatever container you decide to use, it is important that the container is cleaned properly. First, rub it with solid soap, and then after that, get some water. Drizzle several drops of bleach into the water, and then give it a proper rinse. After that, rinse it again with fresh water. Then the container is clean enough to brew or set wine. Ensure that the lid is just as clean as the bucket, or in my case, the bowl. Measure and add 2 pounds sugar. I am using brown sugar today. Granulated is best. Put the sugar into the bowl as well. You could use 1.5 pounds sugar instead 2 pounds. Once the water comes to a boil, turn the stove off. Leave the lid off. Now, allow the water to cool room temperature, which will be 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Measure 1 teaspoon yeast. Wine yeast is best. However, if you only have baking yeast, that does work just as well. This is baking yeast up close. I am unable to get wine yeast. I am using baking yeast. Put yeast into the bowl. Now, once the water temperature gets to 110 degrees, then it's ready for the next step. Add sterilized water into the bowl. When making wine, everything that you use, including the water, need to be sterilized. That's why we boiled the water first. It's not necessary to stir, but you could if you want. Room temperature is 110 degrees, summertime. However, Use a thermostat to be accurate. I'm using this deep fried thermostat meter. Now, store the brewing wine in a warm, dry area. Allow it to stay for 21 days. Do not open the lid, just allow. The lid might pop open on its own just to release fumes. But for the most part, keep the lid closed. Keep the lid closed properly throughout the days. Use the bowl's lid. Cover the bowl properly. Label it by the date, starting with day 1 and when it ends at day 21. It's now 21 days later. This recipe is in Cookbook, Jamaican juice drinks. The ginger roots wine looks like this. When you pop the lid for the first time, you will smell the ginger's roots wine aroma. The aroma is the scent of Christmas time. Now, get a clean bowl ready. Get a fine mesh strainer ready. You could put a clean cloth over the strainer in order to strain the wine thin, but I am not going to. Now, strain the wine. Pour the wine through the strainer into the clean bowl. Once you do that, throw away the trash. It's waste. This is what you want. Homemade ginger roots wine. Next, this is how to store ginger roots wine. If you could get wine bottle with a cork, that's best. However, I don't have that. I am using a cleaned, used rum bottle. From this proportion, you will get 2 bottles of wine with 700 milliliters per bottle. Use a funnel like this. Put the funnel into the empty bottle. Now, pour homemade ginger roots wine into the bottle until it's full. Close the bottle tight. Store the bottle room temperature for up to 3 months or longer. Once you open the bottle to drink the first drink and you're not gonna drink off the bottle in 2 or 3 days, put the homemade wine in the refrigerator after that. After 3 days, when you opened it. This recipe is in Cookbook, Jamaican juice drinks. This is homemade ginger roots wine. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. Subscribe, like, and share to get a special notice when I upload videos. Hit the bell. You should try making this wine yourself. When you do, share your experience with us. This is homemade ginger roots wine. Visit JamaicanDinners.com for the recipe. Although you can serve ginger roots wine room temperature, you will appreciate the flavor more when it's cooled. Therefore, if you know you're gonna serve and finish a bottle of wine, you could cool it hours before serving. In other words, put the bottle of wine in the refrigerator hours before serving. This is a perfect wine. It says Christmas all over. I can feel the alcohol working in my spirit already. The ginger with the alcohol feels good on my chest. The wine does not taste harsh, meaning the ginger flavor is not strong. It's just right. Homemade ginger roots wine is easy to do. Follow my methods and try it for yourself. This is a lovely wine. It's not sweet at all. The mace made the flavor interesting in a good way. The raisins makes this wine interesting. I love it. Google says homemade wine has a 12% alcohol level, give and take. more or less. When you start making your own homemade wine, you will never buy branded ready-made wine again. I cannot drink this wine all at once. See you later. Yeah, man. Ginger roots wine recipe. Ginger, 2 ounces. Although using 2 ounce ginger made this wine delicious, you could use more ginger up to double the amount and the wine will still be fine. Sugar, 2 pounds. Water, boiled and cooled, 8 cups. Dried fruits, 1/4 pound. Mace, 1/4 ounce. Yeast, 1 teaspoon. Although it's best to use wine yeast to make wine, regular yeast could work. This recipe is in Cookbook, Jamaican Juice Drinks. Support the chef, visit his online stores. The product you will purchase was designed by him.